Growing up, every kid wants to be either a rapper or a basketball player, and that doesn't stop when you're grown either. Every year, the NBA celebrity game is filled with rappers who think they can ball. Master P had made a run at the league a while back, and J. Cole literally just tried to go pro last year. And ever since the 90s, there has been absolutely no shortage of NBA players who tried picking up the mic. So I'm going to try to go through the decades and talk about all the NBA players who gave rapping a shot. First things first, you can't even have this conversation without mentioning the big MC himself, Shaquille ONeal. I know now we look back on Shaq's rap career as kind of a joke, but looking back, I think you'd be surprised at how serious he was taken as a rapper back then. Over the course of the 90s, Shaq released 4 studio albums, one of which went platinum, and had collaborations with RZA, Method Man, Biggie Smalls, Ice Cube, Roger Troutman, Nate Dogg, Common, Black Thought, Quincy Jones, and even had a feature on Michael Jackson's History album. Those are some really respected names in the music industry, which is kinda crazy to me. What's Up Doc featuring Foo Schnickens is probably his most known song, and I think that's a fitting look for his rap style, with the sort of fun early 90s party atmosphere with a self-aware Shaq wink at the audience.
That's okay, not being braggadocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
In 1994, Shaq appeared on a compilation album called B-Ball's Best Kept Secret, which featured a bunch of collaborations from ball players and rappers, featuring Gary Payton, Dennis Scott, Jason Kidd, and a super smooth collab between Cedric Ceballos and Warren G. I would love to hear them do something like this with today's crop of NBA players. They definitely are a lot more musically talented now than this bunch. Besides that album, Shaq really ran the 90s in this regard. That is until the man who helped change the image of the league was drafted. Allen Iverson was a driving force in helping bring hip-hop culture into the mainstream, but the league was not a fan of that. AI recorded a rap album in 2000 under the name Jules, but David Stern vetoed the album's release faster than a Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. Due to the violent and graphic content of his lyrics, Stern threatened to sue Iverson because it didn't fit the NBA's brand. And that's a shame because AI actually had skills. His album, which was set to be called Nonfiction, fits right in there with the Locks or G Unit. He, more than anyone else on this list, actually has the verbal swagger to rock the mic in my opinion. I really do hope he makes a comeback soon. This style of rap has been having a resurgence lately. I'd love to hear Allen Iverson rap over some West Side Gun ad-libs or something.
You went platinum with a ghostwriter, so in the game you won, you cheated. My slang bang when you need it. Man enough to pull a gun, be man enough to squeeze it. Damn if you don't believe it. Anything to do.
In the year 2000, Kobe Bryant also dipped his toes into the rap game. Kobe was signed to Columbia Records and recorded his debut album, which was unfortunately shelved after its first single performed poorly. LL Cool J has actually said that Kobe's played him the album before, and he said it was a gangster rap album. LL remembers telling Kobe, "Come on, dog, that's not what you need to be doing." He played me the album, we're sitting in the parking lot, and I was confused. I was sitting there like, what are we doing? You got endorsements. It had to be the funniest moment of my life. The album remained missing until actually recently when the project leaked online. Kobe's released a handful of songs over the years, but most notably appearing on the official remix of Destiny Child's Say My Name. Kobe's teammate Ron Artest, aka Meta World Peace, also released a good amount of music back then. Now he really wasn't that good, and I'm ashamed to say it, but his song Champions was probably my favorite song in the world when I was 13. And speaking of ballers who were bad at making music but tried it anyway, Dwight Howard actually released an album of covers of a variety of songs in 2010. This isn't really a rap album for the most part, but I had to mention it here because this just needs to be discussed more. Imagine Kids Bop, except with Dwight Howard singing instead of the kids.
Bow, bow, bow. ABC, it is 1, 2, 3. Simple as go, rate me, ABC.
And similar to this, Glenn Big Baby Davis released a song called Big Baby Gun Turn It Up, and it's the most 2012 thing you could ever hear. It sounds like a throwaway from an LMFAO album.
Oh, you know just what my name is, Big Baby, and I'm kinda famous.
Now here's one that feels like it was scrubbed from the internet because I had no idea this existed. Spurs legend Tony Parker actually released an album in French in 2007 called TP. And of course, no talk about the NBA in the last 20 years is complete without LeBron James. Aside from an intro he did on a G Unit mixtape back in 2003, the best thing that he did for hip-hop was when he A&R'd 2 Chainz's album, Rapper Go to the League. That album is super slept on, and it gave us that great clip of LeBron trying to convince us that he invented the deluxe album.
We got 16 tracks, right? The 16 tracks, we want to do 14. But is there a problem with a week or 2 weeks after the album drop with the 14 tracks that we add the deluxe album and added 2 songs back on?
I think that's hard.
I think it'd be a conversation of, oh shit, this man has some more, but he couldn't fit it into the album. Thank y'all for taking on this ride with me. Yeah. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
And let's not forget that LeBron and Kevin Durant have a song together. KD actually can spit, and LeBron had some decent lyrics, but let's just say his greatness didn't really transfer to the booth. Steven Jackson put together a nice career under the name Stack 5, releasing a mixtape and an album. He wears his southern influence on his sleeve, and he's actually pretty nice with it. He has music produced by Big Crit, and even a song with Scarface, so if you like that dirty South sound, definitely check him out. Steve Francis released a song called Finer Things about a decade ago, and it's a nice vibe, but he kinda sounds just like a wannabe Ja Rule. But one baller who captured the luxury rap sound was actually Dwayne Wade. Wade was featured on a Rick Ross song in 2020, and actually sounds pretty good. His flow was smooth, and lyrically he fit in well with Ross and Raphael Sadiq on the track. I still don't think he'll be releasing a mixtape or anything anytime soon, but this still impressed me. JaVale McGee is an interesting case because until doing my research for this video, I had no idea that he even made music, but he's actually really talented. He bodied a freestyle on Sway in the Morning, released a super dope album called Pierre in 2018, and also was somehow a credited producer and writer on Justin Bieber's 2020 album Changes. That's crazy to me. Another veteran big man, Andre Drummond, released an album in 2018, and he's pretty good as well. He's definitely more experimental with the sound than most of these other players. I'd definitely be interested to hear what he has coming in the future because he clearly has a unique ear. Lance Stevenson is a native of Brooklyn, which is the home of many elite MCs, and he's no slouch on the mic either. He's only released a handful of songs over the years, but if he released more, I have no doubt that he would be thought of as one of the better rhymers in the NBA. Now, Lou Williams may be most known in hip-hop circles for when Drake shouted him out on 6 Man, but he actually put together a nice rap career too. He's released a couple mixtapes and has music with Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, and Meek Mill, and released a really heartfelt and beautiful tribute to Kobe Bryant after he passed away.
I got 100 stories, majority can't be exposed. Not cause they wrong, the memories, they just mind the whole. Thinking the last game, last time I got to see you go.
And that pretty much brings us to the modern crop of NBA players who started rapping along with the SoundCloud generation. Lonzo Ball is probably the leader of this new group. And now, I will admit, I was pretty skeptical to listen to him after hearing his take that Future was better than Nas, but he's doing his thing out there. This style of rap is really outside of my wheelhouse, but he's released a number of songs and has a very solid flow. He definitely wears his influences on his sleeve, taking a lot of cues from the Migos, especially Offset, I'd say. Aaron Gordon started releasing a few songs during the pandemic, and he's pretty solid as well. His best song, 9 out of 10, is pretty much an excuse to vent about the 9 out of 10 he got when he was robbed from his dunk contest win. But you know what? I thought he deserved the win that night, so I guess he earned the right to vent on a track. Marvin Bagley has been a solid big man in the league for a couple years now, but I think he might be the first player we've talked about today that's as good as a rapper as he is a ball player. He's released 4 albums in 3 years, and has a good mix of soul samples, bars, and some trap-inspired stuff. I feel like his time in Sacramento is almost up, but let's hope that his rap career isn't, because he has a lot of potential in my opinion.
Look, never let nobody say you can't do something. Oh man, that's on me, cause a lot of people listening didn't end up making it. But you can be whatever you wanna be, and that's real tough.
Miles Bridges has been having a breakout season for Charlotte this year, and his rap career has been breaking out too. He recently released his second album under his RTB/MB alias, and he's got a really fresh, unique style. Bridges was really inspired by Michigan's Flint and Detroit underground scenes, and he spits an energetic and off-kilter flow with rapidly improving lyricism. He's definitely a rapper that will be here for a while. He's one that I could actually see in the future making some moves in the rap game outside of his NBA status. Now, unlike most of the other ballers that I've talked about, Iman Shumpert feels like an actual artist. I'm sure it helps that he's married to one of the best singers of the 21st century, but he's just got it. He's got creative lyrics, multiple flows, and he could freestyle. He definitely feels like a full-on artist and not just a basketball player who raps, so I'm really excited to see what his music career brings us now that he's fully retired from ball. And now, the name that we've all been waiting to hear, one of the best big shot makers in the NBA, and one of the best point guards in the world, Kyrie Irving. Before we get to Dame, I have to shout out Kyrie, who has recently played some unreleased bars on his IG Live. Hopefully we'll get some more full raps from him someday. And this isn't really rap, but let's not forget the track that he released called Ridiculous for the Uncle Drew soundtrack. On top of his all-time handles, he actually has a pretty good singing voice too. Who knew? And that brings us to the guy who is probably the most respected both on the court and in the booth, Damian Lillard, aka Dame Dolla. Dame has released 4 albums and they keep getting better and better. His most recent has features from Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg, and even Q-Tip. Lillard lyrically is a cut above the rest of them too. Whenever a new NBA player starts to rap, it's immediately Dame that they get compared to, and he's the gold standard. He's even had some guys try and come for his throne, most notably Marvin Bagley, but a few diss tracks later, and Dame showed them why he's on top.
The things we do for the glitz and the glamorous. Follow backs and like pics from your camera. Was about to pass cause you still in a pamper, bruh. And I never seen Floyd spar with amateurs.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you love basketball, then check out this guy playing right here. This is my brother Marinara Sauce. He's probably the dopest trick shooter in the world, so make sure you go show him some love. I'll put links in the bio. And aside from that, as always, if you enjoyed the video and want to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, that is always appreciated. Let me know down in the comments who, in your opinion, is the best rapper in the NBA. Thanks for watching.